President Joe Biden's recent performance has sparked concern among Democrats. He struggled to articulate points on immigration, abortion, and other key issues.
We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system.
Biden emphasized the country's progress on taxation and healthcare access, contrasting it with the previous administration. He criticized Trump's proposed tariff increase as a tax on everyday people and warned that Republicans would hinder efforts to let Medicare negotiate drug prices for seniors. Despite Biden's uneven performance, Democrats largely rallied around him, although there are some calls for a new candidate. Former President Donald Trump, on the other hand, continued to spread falsehoods, claiming that immigration would lead to higher crime rates and accusing Democrats of extreme actions on abortion.
He decided to open up our border, open up our country to terrorists. We have the largest number of terrorists coming into our country right now, all terrorists, all over the world, not just in South America, all over the world. They come from the Middle East, everywhere, all over the world they're pouring in. And this guy just left it open.
He's willing to, as we say, rip the baby out of the womb in the 9th month and kill the baby. Nobody wants that to happen, Democrat or Republican. Nobody wants it to happen.
When asked if he would honor the 2024 election results, Trump deflected, insisting he would only do so if the results were free and fair. He accused Biden of allowing global conflicts and uncontrolled immigration.
And I'd love to ask him, and will, why he allowed millions of people to come in here from prisons, jails, and mental institutions to come into our country and destroy our country.
Stating that the conflicts in Gaza and Ukraine should have been prevented.
If we had a real president, a president that knew, that was respected by Putin, he would have never invaded Ukraine. Israel would have never been invaded in a million years by Hamas. You know why? Because Iran was broke with me. I wouldn't let anybody do business with them. They ran out of money. They were broke. They had no money for Hamas. This place, the whole world is blowing up under him.
Meanwhile, protesters gathered outside the debate venue in Atlanta, Georgia, to highlight the U.S.'s role in Israel's war in Gaza and to urge both candidates to push for a ceasefire. During the debate, foreign policy and the Middle East were discussed, but the suffering of Palestinians and the impact of Israel's campaign in Gaza were minimally addressed. Hosts Dana Bash and Jake Tapper noted the deaths of thousands of Palestinians, but the severe conditions in Gaza, such as famine and destruction, were largely ignored by the candidates.
Israel's response has killed thousands of Palestinians and created a humanitarian crisis in Gaza.
We saved Israel. We are the biggest producer of support for Israel of anyone in the world.
The one that wants to go. He said the only one who wants to keep going is Hamas. Actually, Israel is the one, and you should let him go and let him finish the job. He doesn't want to do it. He's become like a Palestinian, but they don't like him because he's a very bad Palestinian. He's a weak one.
Biden falsely claimed widespread support for his ceasefire proposal, except from Hamas. While Trump accused Biden of being overly sympathetic to Palestinians and supported Israel's actions in Gaza, where over 37,000 people, mostly women and children, have been killed and more than 90% of the population displaced.